We have a very special guest in studio today. He is the team leader and a real estate agent at Keller-Williams Realty Chesterfield, the great and powerful Jaden Barr. Welcome back to the show.
Take two.
Take two. So a little funny story about our first episode with
Yes.
Jaden. Well, this was like right after our producer.
That was just a shit show of a day for both of us.
It was a bad day. Yeah, I think we both had like shit going wrong with deals.
Yep. And then
Murph had just left and moved down to Florida.
And then trying to save the one deal for you.
How'd that deal work out?
Got closed.
Let's go.
They,
yeah, we did it.
And then they just sold the house like a month ago.
Yeah, I was representing the sellers on that one, and then that was a fucking shit show.
Got it done.
Yeah, but anyway, we did a full great episode, and then realized we forgot to hit record. So, so we just sat here and had a nice conversation that no one heard but us. So we're gonna do this again, and we might ask Jaden some of the same questions because he's got a cool story. So Jaden, for the people out there that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously you've done a lot of cool things in your life. So
yeah. First off, happy to be on. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely.
And
Glad to have you
apparently
back.
the conversation the first time was
so good
enough to be back on, right? So here we are. So Jaden Barr, I grew up in California, Missouri. Okay. And it's about a small town 20 minutes west of Jeff City. And I'm not from St. Louis. And so, growing up in a small community, just learning the importance of relationships and the importance of community. And, grew up in athletics, grew up playing every sport imaginable, hyper competitive individual, hate losing. As cliche as it is, I'm one of those people that hates losing more than I love winning. Right. And so, have seen that translate to a lot of different aspects of my life. But yeah, was fortunate enough to play football at Truman State. That's where I met my wife. And then we moved to St. Louis after college and got into this crazy industry called real estate.
Yeah. So now is she from here? Is that what brought you guys
She's
back?
from New Haven, Missouri, which
Okay.
is an even smaller small town, about an hour west of St. Louis.
So why St. Louis then?
We wanted to be in a city that had more than one stoplight. So yeah, wanted to be in a city and being in a city that's somewhat close to family. St. Louis was the pick.
How was that transition from small town to big town?
Not crazy difficult. I mean, it's nice having more than like two restaurants to pick from, and we make friends pretty quick. So
yeah.
Pretty
Well, and straight out of college, you didn't get right into real estate. What did you do again?
So I worked for Worldwide Technology. So I was an inside sales representative. I was first job out of school. So I was putting together quotes for people that were actually making money, the sales reps that were actually making money, right? And I was 2 weeks into that corporate job, and then COVID started. So it was February of 2020, 2 weeks into that. COVID starts, world shuts down. We're in our little apartment at the time, and I am full-time virtual employee at that point. And so highly relational, like to make friends, get out and be out and about, and was miserable for like 6 months there of like, man, I cannot do this, like working from our spare bedroom all day, every day. And being athletics my whole life, I wanted to be rewarded for the work that I was doing, right? And not have a ceiling on my earning potential and things like that. So got looked into real estate, talked to some friends that were in the industry, and they just told me all the great things. Because, you hear about like all the negative stereotypes of being a real estate agent, right? You're going to be working nonstop. And some of those things are true, right? I mean, there's definitely
always on
legit aspects to it, right? But I think there's very few industries out there where you can truly like do anything that you want.
Right.
And make
Like however
much you want, right?
Yeah. Gives you the freedom.
And you're also a part of like people's story, right? People, they might buy or sell 3-4 times in their lifetime, and you get to be a part of that monumental moment, which is so awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was all, I think, you and I met pretty quick after you got licensed because of Lindsay. As your wife worked with Lindsay at Country Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you and I sat down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's like, you need to meet this guy. He's going to be good. Here we are.
Here we are.
5 years later.
5 years later, man.
Yeah.
Well, and so tell us, what was that transition like from working at Worldwide Technology to real estate? Did you just jump in full time into real estate? Like, what was the transition like?
Yeah. So from the beginning, I knew that I wanted to, I was trying to decide, like, do I want to join a team or do I want to be a solo agent? And not growing up here, I didn't have a network. I didn't have a database built. And especially during COVID, like I literally knew no one, right? Yeah. And so I knew I was going to need some additional opportunities that weren't just from me grinding every day, right? If I wanted to support my family. And so I joined a small team. Shout out Adam Moskal. He was my mentor for about the first 2.5 years of my career in real estate. And I learned so much in my time with him. And he's been, monumental to like my success in the industry and just, teaching me so much about the contract process and how to win and negotiate offers and how to always have the client's best interests in mind. And he was just a huge part of that early success. And then I was in the industry for about 6 months before I fully went all in and quit my corporate job. So kind of had...
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I set a goal of like, hey, I want to be consistently doing 2 deals a month. And then once I've done that for 3 months in a row, then I'm going to jump ship and go all in. And so had built that kind of like nest egg, that security blanket. And once I hit that, I, went all in.
Yeah, man, I did something very similar when I first started. It was, I had like, I think what was my number? I had like, before I got into real estate, man, I was so bad with money. I spent pretty much every dollar I made every month, like didn't save anything. And when I got into and then I basically got to a point where I was like, all right, we got like, I think it was like 3 or 4 months worth of bills saved up. And I was like, well, we're good for like 3 or 4 months if I could just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then, I was like, I think it's going to continue to snowball. And then eventually it did. And, that's when I left my job.
Yeah. Yeah. I look back on like every risk that I've taken in my career. And I feel like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I was always thinking of like the worst case scenario of like, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I feel like if I could go back and tell myself anything, it's like, okay, well, what if it does work though?
Right.
Yeah. Like, what is the best case scenario? And you're probably going to land somewhere in the middle, right? So if you're okay with like the middle outcome, then you're probably going to be all right. So,
yeah.
And like being so young, it's like you can restart literally anytime you want. Like,
well, do you think you guys like making that jump and not having that fallback plan kind of pushed you to continue to move forward and push even harder in what you were doing?
For sure. Well, and I also didn't want to be looked at as like a failure, Like
so just another statistic in the real estate business.
Yeah, exactly. Because like how many people get their license and it doesn't work out? Probably more 80%. Yeah, 80%. It's way more than people that fail than succeed. So, like that was my biggest fear is I just didn't want to be like, make this big announcement to everybody on social media, call my friends and family and let them know like, hey, I'm in real estate now. If you know anybody, like, let me know. And, and then 3 months later, I'm not doing it and I'm back waiting tables or, and doing something else. It's like I just didn't want to be seen as someone who like quits or gives up. And I think that was a big motivator for me. I didn't want to look like a loser.
Yeah. And you don't want to let people down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, not saying that people out there that don't succeed in real estate are losers. That's how I would have felt if I didn't succeed.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now, and so you went from sales and all that. And now you're in a leadership role. And what does that entail?
Yeah. So I was given the opportunity, coming up on 2 years now in November, actually, with Keller-Williams Chesterfield. So I've been with KW my entire real estate career and got started with them and then was given the leadership opportunity at KW Chesterfield Market Center. And what that entails really is just helping agents get from where they are to where they want to be. It's simple as that. Agents within our market center, also agents with other brokerages. Like I coach and consult agents on how to grow their business. And it's really not about anything that I particularly know. It's just the systems and models that I've known to be true, right? And how to grow a real estate business, how to keep a budget right within your real estate business, how to grow a team so that way you can enjoy a vacation and can go on date nights and not have to have your phone on ringer, right? And so what I found is there's agents out there, they're either looking for more time or more money. And depends on where you're at in the business of which one is more important to you. And so kind of specialize in helping agents figure that out.
Wow. It's awesome. Yeah. So quarterbacking in college, on a team in college, and now you're quarterbacking in an office. How are those two forms of leadership similar, and how are they different?
I'll start with how they're different. It's a great question. So how they're different is, when I was a quarterback in college, I was always, everybody's working towards the same goal, right? Everybody is on the team, for the team, about the team, and we're marching forward to try to go and win games, right? It doesn't matter where you're at on the depth chart. It doesn't matter what position you play. Like, all that matters is the W on Saturday, right? And so transitioning to like the leadership role within an office is I'm now leading 300 independent contractors, right? They all have their own goals. They all have their own businesses, their own life stories, their own things that they're concerned about. And so everybody kind of has their own version of what success looks like for them, right? It's not one size fits all. And so trying to navigate that and figure out, okay, I got to get into deep relationship with the people that are, within my leadership and figure out what they want and then help them get that. And then also just realizing like, okay, there's strength in numbers. So the more buy-in we have as an office, as a brokerage, then the easier it's going to be for that agent at the kitchen table, right? Whenever you can go walk into a house and say, hey, I'm part of the number one brokerage in St. Louis, and we have the most amount of units, volume, and here's why you should list with me. Like, that makes that conversation a whole lot easier. So yeah, that's how they're different. How they're similar is leadership is influence. It's just, I try to lead by example, right? Do the work. I have that written on my whiteboard every single day. And if you're willing to do the work in this industry, it's going to pay off. But you have to overcome those limiting beliefs, those things that you're fearful of, and just realize like nobody is going to think like, oh, he messed up that conversation, so I'm not going to use him, right? Just be yourself. Like, you're going to find your people that want to work with you. And but you have to do the work and you have to put yourself out there. And that's the same thing with like leading a football team. Like, I just try to lead by example, right? I wasn't always the most vocal leader out there. There were times for it, for sure, but I tried to win influence within the locker room just by the way that I worked.
It's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, you lead, top producing agents, an office of 300 agents now, but also sell homes yourself. How do you ever struggle with like balancing that?
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve for sure. I think as soon as I took the leadership role, I kind of had no idea what I was getting into, but also realized it was gonna come with requirements for my sales business, my personal sales business, and that I was gonna need to find a lot of leverage because I can't be in two places at once. And so immediately hired a transaction coordinator so that way I'm not caught in the weeds with paperwork. I can spend my time more efficiently doing other things. And so I have a great transaction coordinator. I have a virtual assistant that kind of handles a lot of things like newsletters and emails and various things like that. And then I have showing partners. And so there's a lot of agents out there that are really fearful of letting their buyers see a home with anyone but them. Right. And I see this as just a pain point for a lot of people because they want to wear the cape. They want to do everything.
I struggle with that personally. Because it's like I feel like I build my relationships with the showings. Like that's where I'm like that's where I get my touches on them. And like that's where we become friends.
Yes, 100%.
And it's like I don't want to lose that.
100%.
That's something I really struggle with.
Yeah, and I think a lot of agents do, and that's totally normal. Especially if you're working with leads that maybe don't already know you.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
That's a big one, because it's like, there's a lot of people that I work with that are, that I'm already friends with, or their family members or somebody. Like I'd be more willing to like, let them, or, have a showing agent show them a house versus like someone who I'd, this is a lead, someone I don't really know that well, but like,
I got to win them over.
I got to win them over still, it's like, what's stopping them from, not using me, it's like, he wasn't even there, like that's something I'm always worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And that's totally normal. And I had to get over that as well. It's just maybe going on the first round of showings just to establish like, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He has credibility, and he has my best interests in mind, right? So really that conversation is just like, somebody comes to me, they want to buy a house. I explain to them on the buyer consultation, like, hey, I'm going to do my best to be there for you for showings. But if I can't be in two places at once, here's who you might be introduced to for showings. You're not hiring me because I open a door really good, right? Or really well, right? Yeah. You're hiring me for offer strategy to make sure that you find the house that you want in the time frame that you want with the conditions that you want. And if you do go to make an offer on that property, I'm going to get eyes on it. It just might be at a different time than whenever you see it, right? So it's really just kind of setting expectations. And so far to date, I have had zero pushback on it. And
that's awesome.
It's been a huge just leverage piece for my business and giving me so much time back at home with my daughter and my wife. So
amazing. Now, how do you do that? With the showing agents? Do you like pay per showing?
I pay per showing. Yep. Okay. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. You could do it, a certain percentage of closing. There's other agents that, want to show properties and they want the upfront cash. They don't want to wait till closing.
Right, so it's not guaranteed.
Yeah. Really just depends on, what that showing partner.
Yeah. That's just curious. Yeah. Cause when I go on vacations and stuff like that, I always have a handful of agents that I kind of have in my back pocket to show houses for me. But for the most part, if I'm in town, I try to show I try to show them myself unless I can't. I do always have kind of people in my back pocket in case I can't, though. Yeah. Like you said, you can't be in two places at once.
Yeah. So. And like from a value perspective to the buyer, I feel like it almost is better for them because they get into the property quicker, right? So they're able to see the property before I would be able to schedule a showing. So a lot of times I'm getting them in the door earlier than what I would have personally been able to get them in the door. So there's two sides of every coin, right? Not every agent's gonna want to do it that way, but for me, balancing both, it's been a huge time saver.
Yeah, especially like you just said, your wife and daughter. How has fatherhood changed the way you look at business success and even time and time management?
Man, that's a loaded question. I think fatherhood's so awesome, man. Yeah. It's the best. Not only, just seeing my wife be a mom, like she's such a baller. Like she's a stay-at-home mom now. And so, which she was fearful of doing, right? Cause she loves to work and she is super talented, like way more intelligent than I am. And she became a stay-at-home mom a few months back and she was nervous going into it, but now she loves it. And so just having the giving her the opportunity, and the freedom to make that transition has been awesome. Like she goes out on like a girls' night and I'm at home with our daughter Palmer for like 30 minutes and I'm like, we're out of activities. I don't know what else we're gonna do. Like, how do you do this all day? Like, she is truly a superhuman. But yeah, I think it's just given me a whole new perspective on what success looks like. Like I used to think, okay, I gotta have this many sales, I gotta provide this amount of income, and at the end of the day, whether I had the worst day imaginable or the best day imaginable, I get home and I got my family. And that is like truly just the most important thing to me. And having that to come back to regardless of whatever situation I'm in is huge.
That's awesome. Now, 16 months, right? So walking, talking yet, all that stuff. There's nothing better than like walking through the door and like my boy's like, Dad, and they come running up. It's amazing.
Yeah, you get the hug. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. My our youngest just started walking probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And
oh boy.
He's just walking around the house like a little drunken sailor. It's just like, it's hilarious, dude. And he's like, this kid has like zero regard for his own health and safety. Like he just like if he'll be just like standing, he'll be on the couch and just decide to like eat himself off of it.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, dude, like the other day,
from the high chair.
Yeah.
From the edge of the pool.
Yeah. Like he's trying to like, he's like always trying to climb out of the high chair. I'm like, dude, you're like 3 feet off the ground on hardwood floor. Like it's not going to be a soft landing.
Oh, we've taken some spills for sure.
Oh man, this kid, like he's got an affinity for the steps. He just loves to be on the steps and then just all of a sudden decide to Like, flop backward. Like, dude.
Just a permanent goose egg.
Yeah, like, bro, it's just a walking bruise.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's seen Calvin do it too many times.
Oh, yeah. Well, we think Theo's going to be bigger than Calvin. And I'm like, well, because I think it'll be fun when they, get to the age where they start kind of wrestling around, just because I was like, I think Theo's gonna put it on him. We'll see. We'll see. I was joking with Gene. I'm just gonna teach Theo jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. There we go.
Just one of them.
Have a leg up.
Just the little brother, can beat up the big brother.
Yeah, we got a little different perspective on the kids situations. We got boys.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man, they're already like wrestling with each other. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, my
it doesn't change. It only gets more physical.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Get those boxing gloves already.
Sure.
Have them ready.
Yeah, our oldest started preschool last week, and on the second day of preschool, he got in trouble twice for wrestling kids like Daddy wrestles me. I'm like, oh boy, part of me's like a little proud, like, oh well, sorry. I was like, well, how was his technique? Was he getting chest to chest and getting the underhook like I taught him?
The scouting report.
Yeah. Did he get on top? Did he get knee to belly?
Yeah.
Is he smashing him?
Dude, I've been seeing all the back to school photos and stuff, and I'm like already emotional. I'm like, gosh, we still have like 4 years before this, and
just wait.
And we went to Baldwin Days out in Baldwin last week, and dude, just seeing like the cliques of kids, like middle school girls and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. Dude. Here's what I'm in store for.
You're a decade away from that.
I know.
I know. Woo. Yeah,
I already got enough gray hair. Here we go.
A little salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Having girls, I would imagine it's definitely got to be different. But I guess you don't know any different now. Because you've only ever had girls. But do you guys think you'll have more?
We've got another one on the way in October.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Congrats. That's amazing.
So we're like,
dude, it's close. October.
Do you guys know what you're having, or are you guys on a surprise?
Surprise.
Dude, awesome. That's how we did it. We did both of them as a, day of surprise. And
I couldn't wait.
I don't know, man. I think, we did them both that way. And I thought that was super fun, because it's like, we're happy either way, but it just makes that day even more, awesome, just because it's like you get this awesome surprise.
Yeah.
And like both times with the doctor, Dad, do you want to announce if it's a boy or a girl? I'm like, hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And like it's just so cool. It's fun. At least I had fun not knowing.
Yeah. You're just like in shock. You're like,
the first time it took
girl.
me like
it's a girl.
There's a lot of blood in there, like a lot of like stuff. Yep, that's a penis.
Well, the second one, even if we wanted to know or not, the nurse accidentally let it slip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't even there for it. Melissa was just going in for just her standard ultrasound, and I get a text. She goes, "Oh, we're having another boy," and I was like, "Wait, what? I didn't think it was time to know that yet." She goes, "Oh, no, they can definitely tell that it's a boy." I was like,
"Yeah,
all right.
I like that."
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious.
But I mean, you've had a long sports career, and and then also, is it type 1?
Type 1 diabetes. Yeah.
How has that been handling with like the stresses of sports, now the stresses of work and kids, and then how has that kind of affected your life and changed the way you go about things?
Honestly, I'm at the point now where like it's just like a part of like my daily routine and things like that. It's not a huge thing. Like the technology since I got diagnosed, I got diagnosed when I was 15.
Okay.
And luckily I was at an age where I was kind of mature and like responsible. Like I was starting to drive and things like that. So my parents were like pretty hands off and kind of just like let me handle it. So I'm grateful I was diagnosed when I was diagnosed, because I was diagnosed at like 5, like you imagine like the stress of a parent.
One of my buddies, he grew up, I think he got it when he got diagnosed in like 1st or 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
It's like crazy. And then, I started off taking 2 shots a day. So I was in a routine with like the amount of carbs I was eating, when I was eating, and what I was eating and things like that. So it was really, really structured to start. And then once I got into college, I got the pump, which just feeds me insulin, and I can kind of plug in the amount of carbs that I'm taking, like that. So the technology since I was diagnosed has changed drastically, and it just makes it so much easier to manage.
Do you think it's made you more disciplined from a younger age because of what you had to do with it?
I think so. Yeah. And, growing up, I was a nerd in school and, athletics, that's like all I cared about. So when I got diagnosed, I was just like, can I still play sports? That was my only question. And once I heard that, it's not going to change anything there. You'll just have to carry a snack bag around with fruit snacks and carbs on you all the time. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Sign me up.
Yeah, let's go.
Doesn't sound so bad.
It was crazy though. I had lost like 15 pounds. I was going into my sophomore year. So it was summer of, I was diagnosed the last day of school, my freshman year. And I was trying to put on weight to be the starting quarterback in high school. And, working out all the time, eating like twice as much as I usually was. And I was losing weight. It's like, what's going on? Like, this doesn't make sense. And my dad, he's got a sibling with type 1. So he kind of knew the symptoms, took me in, I got diagnosed. And then the month from when I was diagnosed to like doing summer workouts and stuff, I gained 22 pounds.
Oh, wow.
From the 15 that you lost?
In 30 days.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And so my friends are looking over it like, can I get some insulin? Like this is crazy. I just blew up and it was awesome. I was like, type 1 diabetes is the greatest thing ever.
That's great.
This is
like
awesome.
Steroids.
Yeah. But
hilarious.
Well, and because of that, you got to meet some pretty cool people along the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
For sure.
so you've been you've gone viral.
I have.
You want to tell us about how you went viral?
Yeah. So, funny story there. So I also have a chronic ear condition called cholesteatoma. And so I won't go into the details of that. You can Google it and see what that is. But essentially I have hearing loss in both ears. My left ear is my good one. Right ear, pretty deaf. But it's led to several ear surgeries over the years. And so I type 1 diabetic, ear condition called cholesteatoma, which has led to some hearing loss since I was 15. So
are they related to each other?
No, they think that the type 1 diabetes might have been onset from the ear surgery because I had my first ear surgery when I was 15. And 3 months later, I was diagnosed with type 1. So that year 15 was tough.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say
a lot of things going on there, right?
High school is tough.
A lot of life change. But yeah, so the Tim Tebow Foundation, they've got a program called W15H Wish program. And so he essentially hangs out with kids that have gone through some stuff, right? And so I was selected to hang out with Tim Tebow, which he's been like a role model of mine since I've been introduced to sports. And
It's a good role model to have.
Yeah, he's a baller. And so my only wish was to work out with Tim Tebow, which was, looking back now, I'm like, don't ever wish for that. During our workout, I was like in the fetal position, like about to throw up, right? I learned the difference between Division I Heisman Trophy winner and Division II small school quarterback really, really quick, right? And but yeah, so every year my wife and I, we go back to his celebrity golf fundraiser down in Jacksonville, Florida. It's at TPC Sawgrass. Hole 17 is the iconic island green, and we were just spectators, right, for the day of the golf tournament. And he starts calling people out of the crowd. He's like, "Hey, Zach, Brian, Riley, you want to come take a shot?" So he's calling people out of the crowd, and then he's like, "All right, last one. Jaden, you ready?" And I come down, and I feel like I was kind of cocky. Like I kind of was just like, all right, let's do this, right? I grab a club out of somebody's bag, I tee it up, and right before I'm about to swing, he goes, "Whoa, hold up. Throw me your phone. If you put it on the green, I'm throwing you in the water." All right. I chuck in my phone really confidently. I was like, man, my last swing thought before I took that club back, I was like, man, I hope I don't chunk this right into the water. And sure enough, it was like best shot of my life, like 15 feet from the cup, planted it on the green. Crowd goes crazy. He grabs me, throws me in the water. It was all recorded. And I posted the video like a year later on TikTok when TikTok became a thing. And, I hit post, I go to bed. The next morning I wake up, there's like millions of views. I'm getting tagged by like all the golf channels and all this stuff. So didn't capitalize on the TikTok fame like I should have. But
by the way, I'm in real estate.
Yeah. Anybody need to buy a house? Yeah. Right. But pretty cool story.
That's sick. And so you keep going back. You go back to the same tournament every year. And
yeah, man, it's so inspiring just seeing what his foundation is doing and all the good that they're taking action on in the world just to give people a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. That's kind of their mantra. So yeah, it's cool to be a part of that. And every year going back now, I'm on the 17th hole, and everybody's like, Jaden, you gotta take a shot. I'm like, I'm never taking a shot again.
Never again. I can't beat what
I had my moment of fame. I'm not. Yeah, not taking another shot there.
That's awesome. Well, do you still keep in contact with him?
Yeah, so pretty cool. He called me the night before our wedding. He prayed with me. I wouldn't say we're like best friends. We got speed dial, but you know, he's
the fact that Tim Tebow calls you.
Yeah,
he's got your number. And he was,
cool. Everything you see is legit. Like he's most down to earth, awesome dudes out there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that speech there, the interview that he was doing, he's like, where he just went off. He's like, I got this. This is on me. I'm gonna take over, and he just fucking down. That was incredible. Yeah. Because I guess you would have been in high school when that was going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, because that was
the promise.
Yeah, I remember being in college watching that. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Give me a brick wall to run through.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to do that for the baseball team.
Yeah.
Give me the ball.
Yeah. I have noticed, like, growing up playing baseball too, it's a little different, like, pregame, a little different environment, right?
Yeah, very much so.
The pregame speeches look a little different.
Yeah. We're not trying to pump people up to run through somebody else. But no, it's baseball. I mean, that was college. That was some of the most fun I ever had playing baseball, and all of the years that I played.
Yeah, locker room's the best place on earth. Right?
That's the best. Right. Yeah.
For
any
anything.
sport.
Yeah.
Any sport. I mean, even like jujitsu. Like, I love the locker room, especially like after a really hard class, everybody comes up there and talking shit and, and laughing and making fun of each other. And, it's just a fun environment.
Right? Yeah. I miss the practices more than anything. Like the practices, the meetings, like all that. I miss way more than actually playing the games on Saturdays.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, training is my favorite part of of jujitsu. I mean, I compete a couple times a year, but to be honest, like I don't love competing. Like, it's nerve wracking and, scary, but the training is, the best part.
Yeah.
So much fun with it.
I was a pitcher, so I didn't really do shit at practice. So
you're over there with the band.
Stand in the outfield.
Over there with the band.
I was a professional ball shagger during batting practice. Like that's what I got paid to do. I got paid to shag more baseballs than I did to throw baseballs. So I could do without the practice. But sports are great. I mean, just everything that it teaches you, the discipline, the work ethic, especially I mean, when it comes to recruiting, and I mean, that's usually what I'm looking at as athletes, especially college athletes, because you have to have a certain level of discipline and work ethic. Yeah, exactly. To get there.
Yeah.
And so, as a college quarterback, how did your ability to handle pressure, failure, expectations, and all that translate into the business world?
Yeah. So being a quarterback, it's kind of like you get all the praise or all the blame. Right. And so, just having a good mindset, I think each week, whether things go exactly as you planned or totally different, learning how to be a thermostat and not a thermometer. Right?
That's awesome.
That was one of the mantras that my quarterback coach introduced to me my freshman year, and it stuck with me.
That's a great analogy.
Since then, right? So a thermostat sets the temperature in the room and is not affected by what's going on around it. Thermometer obviously rises and falls based off all the things that are happening. So that's been a great just life lesson for business, for personal life, is like, hey, set the tone in every room that you walk into, and you bring the energy, right? Don't take energy, bring the energy to every room, and that's stuck with me for sure.
That's awesome. That's a really good
something
analogy.
You can totally apply to what you do now as the team lead at Keller-Williams. Now, with you kind of coaching a lot of new agents, is there a common mistake you see a lot of like newer agents making?
I think just letting the fear of failure get in the way. Like, you're gonna fail in this industry. You're gonna hear no so many more times than you hear yes. But if you have the idea that every no you hear is one step closer to a yes. Like, how much quicker would you get through all the no's? Right.
If that's what I was reading something the other day. Like, what if it was like you're on here and it's like 20 no's? Like, it took 20 no's to get to one yes. How quickly would you get through those? Yeah, like you were saying, get through those 20 no's.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so I think a lot of new agents, they're just fearful. Like, I don't know everything. I don't know how to talk about real estate. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to. Like, it's okay. Like, people work with you because they know, like, and trust you. It's not necessarily because you know the latest market stats. Mm-hmm. Like, people don't. I mean, yes, there is value to it.
Sure.
But people really don't care. Right? People want to work with you because they like you.
Right. And that's all stuff that you can memorize 10 minutes before you go in, like before you go into the listing appointment. It's like I didn't know all this stuff before I had this listing appointment. I went and looked all this stuff up so I could, sound intelligent in front of the people at this table.
Yeah. It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers thing,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all about numbers, right? I mean, it's contacts and appointments, and that's what you got to focus on. And then everything else can be figured out along the way. Yeah. But if you're not willing to lead generate, put yourself out there, talk to people about real estate, you're going to have a rough sled.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, when you zoom out, do you think you've learned more from athletics or real estate?
Oh, athletics for sure.
Yeah.
Just because it's, I've had more, I would say, time on task with athletics, right? I've only been in the real estate industry for 5 years, but I've been in athletics since I was 5 years old. Right. So, so many lessons from just growing up in sports and being on teams, being on good teams, being on bad teams, like what that looks like, what leadership looks like, and so many great teammates too along the way. Like, I think that's a huge part of just succeeding in any industry is who you surround yourself with matters, right? Like, you guys have a great partnership, great relationship, and it shows. Like, you guys support one another, you encourage one another, you're picking people up and pushing each other to be better, right? I mean, like,
the whole goal of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
You guys, just in terms of like your fitness journey too, like, you're helping each other grow in that regard. And I see that, right? I mean, this guy right here looks yoked,
this guy right here just get me into CrossFit, jiu-jitsu, all the things.
Right. So I think who you surround yourself with matters, and just learn how to be a good teammate along the way. And that looks different on every team. You don't have to be the loudest or, the superstar on the team to be a great teammate and be a great leader.
Agreed with that. I've had some pretty good leaders that are pretty silent, and I've had other ones that are always like vocal, rah type. So
yeah, and everybody responds to things differently. Right. Like I don't mind a coach that yells at me. I don't either. It's like that's kind of that motivates me. But I know some people that they don't want that. So it's just like it totally. Everybody has different stuff that they like, and how they want to be coached. Since you've been in this leadership position, have you had any like really uncomfortable moments, like with other agents and agents that you're coaching, whether you're, I don't know, like have you had any uncomfortable? I mean, I would assume you have, but yeah,
about every day, about every day. And I'll say this, like, I don't have it figured out, right? I'm still learning, I'm still growing along the way, and so when I make mistakes, I try to own it. As quickly as I can and say, hey, I didn't handle that how I should have. I'm sorry. And, will you give me another chance? Right. So I made plenty of mistakes along the way, but I think the biggest piece of leadership is just teaching people how to think. Right. And so a lot of times if people are coming to you with a complaint on where they're at in their business or the value that they're getting or whatever it might look like, it really comes back to them taking ownership too. And so just helping them self-discover, like, hey, I got to do the work, right? And it's nobody's fault but my own, and that I got to go and take action. And if I want this, I need accountability from a leader, but I also need to look in the mirror and say, hey, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me, right?
Yeah.
And so helping people just kind of discover that can be uncomfortable, right? You got to learn how to sit in silence, ask the question, and just let it sit. And that's really challenging for somebody that like me that just wants to give the answer, right?
Same.
You gotta just let people discover the answer on their own, and that's the hard part of just asking tough questions is you kind of got to let it sit and simmer.
Yeah. Let it marinate.
So that's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so I was just kind of stepping back from the work stuff, but talking about sports. I guess you could relate it to work too, if this is what gives you the adrenaline dump. But I was just talking to a buddy of mine at dinner a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Hey, have you found something that gives you that adrenaline rush that you felt like when you were stepping on the mound at the end of the game or anything like that?" And just like, no, I really haven't. Like I like jiu-jitsu try like doing that does, but like I really have like hockey a little bit. But how do you, coming off obviously football, huge adrenaline rush, all of that, what do you do these days to help you mimic that or get you close to that?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Right?
Yeah, you're
How
still chasing
tough is that?
I think one, I love to golf,
Mhm.
and golf is such a mental game, and it's kind of a game of life. Like
For
you're
sure.
gonna hit good shots, you're gonna hit bad shots. You got to figure out how to get out of trouble.
Do you ever play in any tournament, like solo tournaments? Like
I have
actual,
not. No. I mean, like
that's what he was
scrambles
trying
and stuff.
That's what he was
But
trying to get me to do, was join his
Yeah.
country club, so I
Yeah.
could join playing the golf tournaments.
yeah,
But,
right,
yeah.
right. But yeah, I mean, golf, I guess, somewhat kind of gives me that competitive adrenaline. But I would say now it's whenever I'm leading like a big meeting
Mhm.
or a big training where the room's going to be packed and like I get to lead it,
All
right?
eyes
And
on
so
yeah.
that gives me adrenaline because I know I have to prepare for it, and then the lights are on and people are there to get value, and I gotta show up and I gotta provide it, right?
Yeah.
So that's whenever I get kind of that
Yeah.
pre-game adrenaline. And sometimes it's more than others. It's not the same,
No.
but definitely gives me some sort of kind of pre-game energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's kind of led me to think about competing in jiu-jitsu, because I couldn't imagine that the
I was gonna say
adrenaline,
that's-
adrenaline dump and rush when you heading into a competition.
Yeah, that's I mean,
That's a
I've-
one-on-one.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
mano y mano.
It's very intense, and it's terrifying, to be honest with you. Like if you go out there and get a guy trying to strangle you unconscious or break your arms, and in competition, like they will, if you don't tap, they're gonna break your arm. Like in training, like I'm not really worried about my friends actually breaking my arms, but like in a tournament, if you don't tap, it's 100% your fault. Like you are totally responsible for your own safety out there. So I mean, there's freak accidents that happen where people get taken down and land funny and stuff like that. But if someone's got you in a submission and you don't tap, they're gonna break your arm. Like that's, you gotta be aware of that. And it's terrifying because you're going out there and might just get embarrassed in front of all your friends and family that came to watch you. And it's like, hope that doesn't happen, but it's certainly a possibility. And we've all had good matches and bad matches, and beating people that you shouldn't beat, or or someone beats the shit out of you that you should have done pretty well against or something. But just it's tough. But
We all need a slice of humble pie every now and then, right?
Oh, yeah.
You probably learn a lot
Absolutely.
more from the losses than you do to win.
For sure.
for
right?
sure. And I'm humbled on a daily basis.
It's
So
the
it's
biggest ego check ever.
yeah. I mean, there's very few days of training that I go there and I'm always the hammer. Like I'm the nail to somebody. Like if I'm training with one of my coaches or any of the other guys, there's plenty of guys at the gym that beat my ass. So I'm humbled on a daily basis.
Yeah,
So
you did it to me the other day. Well, rolling with a couple white belts. Obviously, we're all still trying to figure
for
this out. But
sure.
then I go roll with him and another purple belt.
well, Nick was telling me the other purple belt, because I saw him at the gym this morning. He goes, I'm having nightmares. I had Pat's top pressure when he had me in front headlock. So when got a guy as big as you on top of you, it's
that's a little different. I mean, I just when I started the top position, I'm gonna
hold on to it.
I just gotta stay there. Just put all 260 pounds on top of somebody. But when I'm starting on the bottom and trying to get out, like you had me submitted in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty
Yeah.
good in the front headlock.
Yeah.
So.
I know.
It's one of my favorite spots.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, Jaden, one other thing that's changed since the last time you've been here is you started a podcast, the STL Real Estate Roundtable. So what's that experience been like?
I don't know. You tell me. You were a guest.
I know
I'm just
it was
playing.
great. I think I was one of the first guests.
Yeah, you were one of the first guests. Yeah, for sure. So I had this idea coming back from Mega Camp, which is one of Keller-Williams' big events last summer, so last August, and then just really wanted to find a way to collaborate with agents across brokerages, right? So I think there's a lot of great brokerages out there, and there's a lot of great agents at all these different brokerages, and so I see it all too often of like, people wanting to play their cards close to their chest and not share their success. And so I just wanted to highlight like some of the top agents in the industry and top agents in St. Louis and give them a platform to share what makes their business unique and what's led to their success, and just highlight some of the top people in the industry. And so started this podcast, and I think we're 52 episodes in right now. We've got 52 episodes
That's awesome,
recorded.
man.
That's awesome.
Top 1%. You got past episode 20, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's been awesome just to kind of collaborate with some of the top people in the industry, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself by doing a podcast?
Podcasting is hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy and focus. Like on podcast day, I basically tell my wife like, hey, it's podcast day. I'm coming home after this, and like, I don't know if I'm going to want to talk the rest of the night. Right. And I'm not doing hardly any of the talking on the podcast, which is funny, but it just takes so much kind of mental stamina.
Right. Because you got to sit there and listen and
respond and like come up with good questions
and allow them to go. And
how to ask great questions, how to, facilitate a conversation to where it doesn't sound choppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a conversation. And, it's taught me a lot in that regard.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. I mean, people think, you're just sitting down here and talking, and that's really what we're doing, but it's like a little bit more finesse than that. It's not just a bullshitting session, like you got to kind of have a structure to it. At least doing what we're doing, like you see people that are professional comedians and stuff where they just, sit down and bullshit, but like, and they're like professionally funny and like professionally entertaining.
Right.
Like, most people are.
We got to manufacture.
We got to. We got to like come up with this because people aren't just going to listen to us if we're just bullshitting talking about what we did on Saturday night. You know, like that's not what people are going to tune in for. Like you got to be there to kind of give them something and entertain, educate, and motivate. One of those three. And so I think that's kind of
Murph's going to be so proud of you.
I know. Yeah, but I mean, you got to that's kind of the goal, one of those three things. And, I think our, our show kind of does a combination of that. And it's, that's really what it's all about.
Well, the one thing you mentioned that I really liked, you're bringing in people from other brokerages. And that's the thing, like, it's that abundance mentality versus a scarcity mentality. And it's like, the people at the top collaborate, it's the people at the bottom that are in competition with each other. I mean, that you can't go anywhere without having a good network of other top producers, and they're not always going to be in the same place. You all have the same goal. You all want to get better. You all want to, everyone wants to stay at the top. So it's why not have a group of people that you can call on and talk to get there.
Yeah.
So
losers focus on winners. Winners focus on winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's good.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of good one-liners from you.
Yeah.
I know. I got them right in my back pocket, man.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We're going to have a lot of really good reels coming out of this one.
Yeah. Chop it up, Murph.
Yep, have fun, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, on your questionnaire, you mentioned loving cereal. So what is your Mount Rushmore of cereals?
Oh, my Mount
Give me
Rushmore.
5.
Okay, 5. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch has got this. By the way, this is my favorite icebreaker question. I feel like you can learn so much about a person just by their top 5 cereals.
All right.
So Cinnamon Toast Crunch, number 1, and it'll be no surprise why I'm a type 1 diabetic after this. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruity Dino Bites. So this is the off-brand Fruity Pebbles.
Okay.
So they sell it in like the dog food bag that's like 18
Yeah.
pounds, and you just So Fruity Dino Bites, Waffle Crisp. It's kind of my
That little
my
niche.
outlier there.
Yeah.
Special K fruit and yogurt, and then the 5th spot is just a rotating wheel. Reese's Puffs, Peanut Butter Crunch. Let's see what else would be in there. Yeah, I think those would be the 2 that would be like the rotating wheel, but the 5th spot's kind of substituted.
What's yours?
Mine, CTC is probably my number 1 as
for
well.
sure.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
CTC.
I could do like top 5 cereal milks too. The milk at the end of the bowl is like
sure.
its own category.
We've been buying this protein Cheerios, and they're like really good.
Yeah.
Have you ever had those before? It's like a strawberry one. It's like it's freaking really good, and it's like you get like I think it's like 12 grams of protein per serving, and I'll usually do 3 servings or so at a time. So like 30 grams, I'll take it. No, that one's really good. What else? I like a Raisin Bran Crunch. I know.
Okay. Little Crunch.
I love Crunch. I like that. Give me a fruity one. Just standard Fruit Loops.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good. And then last one, it's got to be something chocolate. They're Cookie Crisp or Count Chocula.
Ooh, Cookie Crisp.
You guys are forgetting the best one.
I like Cookie Crisp. Yeah.
So mine would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes.
Okay. Yes, Frosted Flakes would be like that rotating wheel.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Fun.
Okay. Fruit Loops.
Okay.
And then 5. I'm a Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran. Yeah, the crunch.
I like the raisins in there. You know?
Yeah, just a
chewy
little
sweet treat.
Exactly.
Yeah, covered in sugar.
They sink to the bottom. You know.
Yeah.
You got to go find them.
Yeah.
Got to go digging.
That or Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Those two are I could go back and forth on.
Yeah. I really don't eat that much cereal nowadays.
I don't either.
Really don't eat that. Well, I mean, we just have cereal on deck because my one son, he just always. My littlest is just a tank, dude. That kid just eats and eat. He literally eats until you stop putting food in front of him. He just, I mean, it's no surprise that he's 98th percentile height and weight. he's just a little meatball, dude. And
awesome.
The kid just loves cheer. And we keep now we've been giving him the protein Cheerios too. But we've just been keeping Cheerios on deck at the house, and that's really the only cereal we have in there. Oh, dude, you guys ever had Catalina Crunch?
I've heard of that,
dude. I've been getting into it recently. It's they sell it at Costco in like these big bags, but it's like a protein cereal.
Magic Spoon is the other.
Yeah, it's the other one.
Is that the other one?
It's similar, but it like kind of looks and tastes pretty similar to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like I buy the cinnamon one. It's like same shape of cereal. You know, it's definitely not. Doesn't taste as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty close.
Yeah,
and it's good amount of protein per serving and. Check it out next time you're at Costco.
I will. I'm a connoisseur of sweet treats.
Yeah.
So ice cream, cereal, anything like that. That's up my alley, man. Have you guys heard of the Ninja Creamy?
Yeah.
I
got one.
That's like a protein hack. If you got a sweet tooth,
really,
and
brother, it's the best.
I'll take a so talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch first form CTC. Holy shit! So I'll just take a low fat Greek yogurt, vanilla Greek yogurt. Throw some CTC in there with maybe a little bit of granola. That's my sweet treat. But those creamies I've heard are phenomenal.
And they're insane.
we 40 grams of protein for 250 calories.
Yeah, it's insane. It's stupid. And then
pint of ice cream.
Yeah, you might be you have a little mix in that you throw in. Whether it's a a cookie or a
Reese's peanut butter cup,
little something.
little
sweet treat. But the problem with the creamy is you got to remember to set it up like the day before. You got to set yourself up for success. You can't. Not a last minute thing. You got to prep it.
That and if you're running it at 9 p.m. right after your kid went to bed.
Sounds like a helicopter's landing in your kitchen.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a war zone. Like you gotta plug it in outside.
Yeah, it's loud. It is loud.
Yeah.
Like in our old house before we moved to the house we're in now, like I would, we basically would have to do it outside. Like now, if I run it in the kitchen, it's not. I don't think you can hear it too much upstairs, but it's loud. It literally sounds like a fucking helicopter's landing in the kitchen.
Just ask your neighbor if you can use their house for
use your house. I'm gonna bring this over and make my sweet treat.
Yeah,
I'll share.
Yeah,
no, but it's so good. I mean, you literally just freeze a protein shake essentially, and little hack. I don't know if you do this, but we use that Fairlife milk.
Oh, that stuff's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's got like a bunch of extra protein into it, and so you basically it comes with these little containers, and you make the protein shake in there, and then you got to freeze it. They say for 24 hours, but I've done it in the morning, and then it's good by the evening.
Yeah,
I'll do it like at 7 a.m. and then by 8 or 9 o'clock at night when I'm making it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you got to remember to do it. Like I forgot. Now that we're mentioning it, I forgot to set myself up for success this morning, so I'm a little bummed out.
Yeah. Summertime's good too with like fruits, watermelon, pineapple.
Well, I forget what peaches. Like place. It was in California when I was playing out there. It was called like Juice It Up, and they had these acai bowls,
Dude,
acai berry bowls. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we there was one
so good.
There's one of those what do they call it playa bowl, which is beach in Spanish. By where we were just at in Florida. I think I went there like 3 times while we were there.
No, it's so good, so good.
You know, we got the one with like the Nutella and all that shit. Oh, it's so
I like the one that had like coconut sprinkles, honey, granola, and like some like it was almost like chocolate chips mixed into it. Oh,
yeah, they always have those at jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because it's like a Brazilian thing.
Yeah.
So
a whole nother reason I need to start going to these tournaments.
Yeah, so like if you get fucked up in jiu-jitsu and get your ass beat, you can just go drown your Soros and acai.
Yeah. This is the content people want to
see. Well, keep it.
Hey, you talk about what you love. You talk about what you love.
Keeping the fun rolling.
Yeah.
Quarterback sneak or a deep bomb.
Oh, deep bomb.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't get hit.
I mean, a long run is fun.
Yeah.
But
sneak.
Yeah, I was definitely a mobile quarterback.
Okay.
Definitely mobile guy. Yeah,
so it was more satisfying to hit a deep bomb than go for a long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just by fuck yeah.
I just had fewer of them, so they were few and far between. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, your daughter's little, and she's gonna say she watches this in 15, 18 years. What's one lesson you want her to take from this?
Oh man, that's a great question. You're gonna make me cry on here, man.
Good.
No, I think I want her to not be afraid to fail. Right. I think there's way too much out there to be afraid of failure. Like you can do anything you want in life, and she's always gonna have somebody in her corner that believes in her, that sees how amazing she is, and her dad's always gonna be there.
That's awesome.
In her corner. So
nice.
Go chase your dreams, go make it happen, do the work, right? And yeah,
beautiful.
That's
man.
Awesome, man.
Make it happen.
Yeah, something we think about on the show a lot is, it's like this is like a cool time capsule for like our kids, and it's like,
yeah,
it's like if something were to ever happen to Pat or I, it's like, man, we've got hundreds of hours of us, talking, and like, both our, his kids are a little older than mine, but they're still young, like there's a lot of memories to be made. And, if something were to ever happen to us, it's like, we've got this, kind of time capsule. It's trapped on the internet that, our kids could always go back and watch it. So, I think that's always like a fun question to ask people, just to,
sure.
Like something you probably don't think about, especially even with your show, like, it's like you got, she's got hours of her dad talking on the internet. It's like, I've always thought it'd be really cool to like be able to go back and see what my dad was like in his early 30s,
right.
And like hear what he was talking about and what he was into.
What was important to him.
What was important to him.
Yeah.
And like, how did he talk about us and like stuff like that, and I just always think that's such a cool aspect of this whole podcast thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, just like you were saying, I mean, we cover so much, and like, honestly, I feel like this is kind of a target audience. It's like people coming out of college and getting their first jobs and things like that, that like, hey, this is what real life is like. And that's kind of what I hope, like if something were to ever happen to me, that they could go back and see that and be like, hey guys, like you're going to be okay. Like life is going to be tough, but you're going to be fine. Just keep pushing forward one step at a time. So that's probably my favorite part about all this, other than getting to sit down with awesome people and let them tell their stories. So
yeah. And shout out to you guys for being consistent with it too, right?
Thanks.
I mean, it takes a lot of work, and it's not easy, right? Lining up guests and coordinating and prepping for the podcast and things like that. So shout out to you guys for just being consistent. And
thank you. That's been our that's one thing I definitely like hang our hat on, that we've not missed, an upload. Like we've been, consistent 2 episodes a week since we started.
December.
Everybody like and subscribe, by the way.
Yeah.
Come on, show some love, comment. Come on, we're trying to earn
grow this
entire.
Well, we did just make our first $1. So.
Yeah, let's go.
We made a whole $1.
Whole $1.
There we go. Split it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retire.
Go get your pack of gum.
Yeah. used to be able to make a 99-cent phone or what was it, a 10-minute phone call for
10-minute phone call?
Yeah, for 99 cents.
What if we're in prison or something?
Oh well, there was I forget that I'm older than you guys. So there used to be a commercial where it was like 99 cents got you a 10-minute phone call, like that was like their whole sales pitch.
Thing.
Yeah, it was like, and then it was like 5 cents for every minute after that or something like that. So
Price gouging.
It was something along the lines of that. I don't know, Murph. Maybe you can go back and pull that old commercial or whatever. But no, it was like 99 cents got you a phone call. back awesome. When you had pay phones.
Yeah,
and, those things that Superman used to go to and come out.
And spin around and come out.
Superman. Yeah, like what would he do today? There are no phone booths anymore. Just run into a bathroom. Just
go to a gender neutral bathroom or something.
Yeah. Y'all are gonna get banned from YouTube.
It's okay. People will think that's funny.
That's funny.
Oh man. Well, Jaden, this has been great having you in here, man. Is there anything that you want to cover before we get you out of here?
Yeah. What do you guys like? Do you have any like dad mantras or any? You talk about my one-liners, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you say you're having a tough day at work or a tough day personally, like anything that keeps you going or like fuels you on those days?
No, I wouldn't say I have like a mantra or anything, but I kind of always like every time I get home, and I come home, either whether I pick the kids up or whenever they're already home and I'm getting home, it's like I always take like 3 to 5 seconds before I go inside the house just to remind myself like all the other shit that I got going on, like that doesn't matter right now. Like this walking through this door, like these 3 people in here, my wife and 2 kids, like that's what fucking matters. Like I need to focus on them for these next couple hours before they go to bed and spend, and put all my energy and focus into them that's been something I've really been working on just because like, in this real estate business, like it doesn't ever, like we said, doesn't ever stop. It can go 24 hours a day basically. So I just have to like really dedicate that those couple hours to them every night. And that's something that I've really been focusing on. And I think I've been doing a lot better at it. But I mean, that's something that I've really been working on. And I think I would say like that's been very helpful.
It's awesome. It's great advice.
Mine, like just everyday mantra is control what you can control. But for me, I mean, I get my kids 50% of the time now. So, making sure that it's all shut down and again, controlling what I can control. I can control putting my phone away. I can control spending time with them. So that's my biggest thing is making sure and then just remembering that just kids, like they don't like, we did a book review called Good Inside and just kind of always remembering like, no matter how much they mess up, they're still good inside. They're just kids. And just because there's times where I'm like, guys, and I'm like, they're 5 and 6 years old. They don't know better to then like run and jump around. Like they go from a house to my apartment and they don't realize people live below us. So like, guys, just remember, like, guys, we got people that live below us. Let's be respectful of that. So yeah, that's the biggest one is control what I can control, and then hey, they're just kids. They don't know any better. It's my job to teach them that. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, before we get you out of here, we always end the show the same way every time.
Yeah, I don't know if we did this with you when you were here last.
I think you did, and I still don't know if I have a good answer.
Tombstone game. Here lies Jaden. What's it say on your tombstone?
Yeah, I knew this question was coming, and I still don't think I have an answer. I feel like it's something that you're always like kind of adjusting as you go through life, right?
Certainly not gonna be.
I think the 2 most important things to me are faith and family. And so, love God, love people. And I know people are somewhere along that journey with their faith. And I just want everybody that comes into contact with me to know that, they're loved, that they matter, and that hopefully they're better off knowing me than they were before they knew me, right? And so just want to be a person that encourages, uplifts people, and helps people be better in every aspect of their life. And so whether that's being a husband, a father, a friend, a leader. You know, I just want to be known for somebody that adds value to people. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Beautiful.
But yeah,
Perfect, man.
be fruitful where you're planted. I think opportunities come whenever you do the work, and you know, live with intentionality, live with purpose, and opportunities will present themselves over time.
Perfect, man.
Amazing, man.
Awesome.
Distill that down into like
Yeah.
what fits on a tombstone.
Yeah, we'll whittle it down. Yeah. We'll throw it into ChatGPT.
Right,
for us.
right.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, please do so. Pat and I have a goal of getting to 500 subscribers before the end of 2025. So help us do so. Share this episode with a friend or someone you think would enjoy it. Click that like button, comment what you thought below, and we will see you next time.